I sold another car today at the dealership I started working for after I left the freight brokerage, and this dealership I started working for is literally turning out to be something I totally didn't expect. It's more than just a job. It's turning into a proof of concept. I've been building Felon Entrepreneur, building apps, worried about my truck, worried about bills, relationships. I'm going through all this different stuff, right? And I've been building my brand for 5 years. On TikTok started, then I moved to Facebook, from Facebook to Instagram, now I'm on YouTube. And I'm learning that it was all for a reason. Me starting at this dealership was originally just for the cash, right? And it's just becoming proof of concept because I'm literally selling cars from my Facebook. So like all the skills I had on building my brand and everything are actually coming to use, and I couldn't even use those skills when I was working at the freight brokerage. I'm converting my audience into cars, and I'm able to give anybody cars. We have financing for people with good credit, financing for people with bad credit. We got in-house financing, and it just really goes to show that a lot of people are like waiting on the perfect moment, but it's not even, or the perfect funnel or the perfect opportunity, but it's not even about any of that. It's about just starting. I've been through multiple jobs, multiple opportunities, and everything I'm learning is just stacking on top of each other. You know what I mean? And it's turning into a proof of concept that I can sell anywhere, that everything I'm doing is not just for no reason. I felt like that sometimes, that I'm just doing stuff, I don't see results, and I'm doing it long time. But the fruits of my labor are literally just starting to pay off now. Almost 6 years later, I really started taking social media serious 5 years ago. It took me, I was on TikTok a little bit when I first got out, but I wasn't really pumping it like that. But it's not till now, 6 years later, that I'm starting to see all this come together. And that's with the money I'm making on Facebook. That's with the, my Instagram following is not really making no money on Instagram, but I'm able to touch people's lives, and that's all I care about, It's not, I don't plan to be at this dealership forever, but I can literally see myself doing this for a long time. Of course, I don't want to work forever. I want to be an owner, my own boss, but I'm loving it, man. And I'm loving it because I'm doing what I love to do. I'm posting on social media. I'm selling cars. I'm self-generating leads. People see my value. I love the people I work for. I'm selling my freight broker course too. It's all about the proof of concept, and I can sell anything I actually believe in. And you guys can too. I just want to tell you, like, this world is built on fear of not being able to pay your bills, fear of sickness, fear of everything. This whole world is built on this fear concept, right? And you get caught up in the loop. You don't want to lose your job because you're scared about being able to take care of your family. And I was in that for the longest time at this freight brokerage, and God just kept telling me to get out of there. Go. And I was just scared because I didn't want to lose, not only the 3 years I had put into it, but also the money I was making. I was making decent money, as far, I wasn't making anywhere what I should have been making, but I was making decent money, enough to keep somebody stuck in that cycle, in that loop. And I just didn't believe in I just didn't believe in the people I was working for. I couldn't use my skills. They told me I couldn't post about freight and stuff like that, and I was just doing it anyways. But it was just fear, and it didn't line up with who I was. So me leaving was probably one of the hardest things I ever had to do, but it ended up being one of the best things I ever had to do, and I just had to get out of that fear mode and jump out of the boat, and that's what I did. And here I am. I met some people. Matter of fact, I met somebody that I was actually working at the freight brokers with. He hit me up from Instagram, said, hey, call me. I think I got an opportunity for you. And that's really, how God works. He works by easy. Everything God does is easy. He doesn't make you strive. He wants you to rest in him and trust in him, and that should be a restful, like, you know what I mean? You should just literally rest in his goodness and know that he's got you. He doesn't want you to strive and white knuckle it and claw and scratch. Like, you know, there is time for hard work, and of course you got to work hard, and I'm not saying that, but God is a loving father, and you know, I see him through the lens of my son all the time, because I see how I interact with my son and how my son looks up to me, and my son knows I got him. No matter what we're going through, he knows, hey, my dad's going to take care of me. And that's how I view God. I've never had a father in my life, so I really don't know, you know, how a father is supposed to look, but I just go off my instinct and what I feel like a father should do. And I've been an amazing father, and I've taken care of my son extremely well. He has everything he wants. We have a nice home. You know, I'm going through financial pressure with this truck and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, I'm still a great father, and he knows that I got him. And it's just an amazing thing, and I feel like we should all view God in that way, but it takes time. Like, it took me a while to get to that point. Of course, you know, my faith has been built over each trial and tribulation and each mountain. You know, I go down and then up, down and up, and you know, this sobriety, getting into AA, NA has literally cleared away all the bull crap. It's making me thrive at my job, and I'm freaking selling the heck out some cars. Only been there 3 weeks. I'm 6 cars in, all from self-generated leads, and it's amazing to, you know, see what God could do in your life. But the moral of the story is, like, start building now. You know, don't worry about what it looks like, because you're going to get better and the more you start building on whatever you're trying to do. You know, of course I suggest getting on social media, because you need a brand these days to do anything. But the more you just get out there and jump out there, the more you're going to get blessed. You learn, you adjust, and you get back into like a groove. You will literally see your growth in front of your own eyes, and it'll be exponential. It won't just be a little bit at a time. It's just like working out. You don't see nothing at first, and then bam. So like I said, it's just amazing. I just can't even explain to you guys how great sobriety is. And I know I keep pushing the issue, but I love to see people grow. And you know, there was a lot of stuff holding me back, and it was a lot to do with weed and drinking and stuff like that. And you know, to each his own. If people can handle it and are successful, that's to them, but I couldn't. And I just love where my life's at. I'm seeing a proof of concept at this dealership. I'm able to sell stuff off my social media. I'm still selling courses, and it just, you know, I'm getting into purpose and who I am meant to be, and I love it. And I just like to share with you guys. If you haven't subscribed at this moment, please do so. It really helps me out. There's going to be some videos on your right and your left that are going to be suggested from YouTube. It's my, you know, probably a beginning of my story and like the video after this, but click those, join the journey, man. I love you guys, and I just can't wait to make it for you guys. I'm doing this as a proof of concept, because if I can do it, anybody can do it. I'll talk to y'all soon.